Oh scheisse, there's a trailer for the DLC. Here it is first off.
These two gits think they could steal my glory! We done all the hard work for them! Stick to the plan, and we'll crush them! These skulls are mine! With each kill, my power grows! Who shall have his tribute, but the worthy are mine to reap! We're gonna make a killing here! If you're after gold, glory, or exotic meats, I'm your man! Hey-ah!
So there it is, the Omens of Destruction DLC trailer with this very nice artwork at the end. But what can we spot in the trailer other than Carl being about to get absolutely shafted? Well, we see our three new legendary lords, Gulfag, Skulltaker, and we finally get an in-game look at Gbad. Because up to this point, we've only seen artwork, and he is looking mightily handsome, if I do say. Got the big, thick armor on, so hopefully he's quite a tough boy. Very cool to finally see him at least. We see him marching on Averheim with an army that we see here with a bunch of stuff. First of all, Gbad on a nice piggy mount. Behind him, we see Snaggler Grobspit on his spidery mount, the big man of the forest goblins, and then he's with some spider riders there by the looks of it. They look like the normal ones, I think. And then behind them, we see this big blue Chungus boy and a Ragnarok spider with some kind of catapult on his back and what looks like a ball of web behind it, so a web flinger, most likely. Perhaps that'll slow enemies as well as damaging them, and given the ridiculously bright color of it, maybe it's a regiment of renown as well. And then over to Gbad's right, we see this other new orc unit, who look a whole lot like Ruglud's armoured orcs, a mercenary band of orcs that use crossbows, although they're looking more like they're full-on melee here, dual-wielding weapons. But moving on here, we're going to see Gbad using his tactical skills with a little bit of SWAT team hand motion. The boys then charge on forward into the oncoming Empire Knights, only to be met by some bouncy, bubbly, lovely little mangler squigs. Two squigs chained together that do absolute madness, as you can see. So they should be absolutely lovely. Not sure whether they'll be anti-infantry or anti-large, given that they're charging into cavalry here. So that's most of the greenskin stuff. We move on then to Khorne, Skulltaker going after the French, always a good target. And then we see Fetish Man Skulltaker admiring a skull right before we see the Slaughter Brute right behind him. Big single entity, we've seen a little bit of that already. We see some kind of new infantry for Khorne here, these boys with what looks like some kind of bone sword. And they seem to be missing half of their faces as their chins seem to be skulls. Christ alive, I'm not sure what or who they are, but I'm sure they're not going to be very diplomatic. A little further on we can see some Khorne Gores on the left here, big two-handed axes, so they're going to be anti-large, a very nice addition for the Beastmen roster if anything. And then over on the right we see a new hero, Skylar Angfingrim, this big gorilla-looking motherfucker. And shortly onwards, we see this boy, another hero for Khorne, Scar Bloodwrath, who I know very little about, other than that he's insane, which I think we probably could have guessed. Shortly on from this, we also see the new free LC Lord Arbol about to decapitate a Frenchman, and a bunch more Khorne-style smashing. Before we shortly get to see Alberic, we then move on though, before anything happens to him, to Gulfag, the new legendary lord for the Ogre Kingdoms, of course. We see goblins dropping gold. We see a couple of chunky boys here, one of them being the Paymaster. This is one of the new heroes. And then this happy-looking chap over on the right in the Gimp mask looks remarkably like Bragg the Gutsman, a possible hero for the ogres. Got a big old hook weapon, not sure what he's going to do with that, but we can see a few things here as well. Yetis over on the right, they look just like the mod does pretty much, so that's cool to see those. All these different ogres in the middle, kind of hard to tell if any of them are new ones or old ones. They all kind of look the same, the ogre infantry. Although, hold up, I spy the ninja one here, the Hessian ogre that spent some time with the Skaven. Now he thinks he's a ninja. Going to be really curious to see how that unit plays. Otherwise, some of these other ones might be new, but we can see this big boy in the background. Looks like a Yeti version of the Stonehorn. So a new one of those to mess around with as well. Then we see the Paymaster there, the Yeti Stonehorn Golfag. Oh, hold up, I missed them before. Replay that bit. We see some of the pigback riders, the Noblard riding a Noblard, little anti-large unit. There they go. Perhaps taking the title of the stupidest unit in the game off of, you know, any elf unit. Last couple of bits to see here. Bursting through a door, we've got a colossal squig. Obviously a big squiggy boy for the Greenskins. And then Gbad rolling into town. Skulltaker about to take a Frenchman's skull. See you later, Alberic. I think that was Alberic. I don't know, he's dead now. One little thing we see here is some vultures looking kind of prominent in this section. One sat on a corpse here and a couple flying. Maybe they could be a flying unit for the ogres. Would be a nice little harassing unit for them. They don't have any flyers. And then we see Karl Franz about to get absolutely murdered. So a bunch of cool stuff to see in this trailer, other than the trailer itself just being very cool, as they always are. But overall, some cool new things in this trailer that we haven't seen before. Some of it we have seen before from the dev diaries and things, but all looking very awesome. Excited to get my grubby little beardy paws on it. But there we go. What do you reckon? Excited for this DLC? Not really bothered? Somewhere in the middle? Let me know down below. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the future.